Want to shoot the pigeons?
Start you off on a Glock 17, right? Easy to shoot. Up in a chase, but I'd be fucking. The fuck are you doing, man? You don't touch the merchandise until we've seen some fucking coin.
Sorry. Your girlfriend needs a doctor.
She's my business.
You two are right parent.
You failed to maintain your weapon, son.
At the start of the film, Harry wakes up and looks closely at an old photograph. He gets out of bed, uses his asthma inhaler, and eats bread with jam for breakfast alone. After that, he quietly washes the dishes. A woman's scream echoes from outside, but Harry only glances through the window and ignores it, as it happens often in the neighborhood. Once he is ready, he leaves the house by himself. As he walks through the streets, he passes a tunnel full of lively music. He checks his watch and keeps walking. Harry visits his wife in the hospital. He gently touches her, but she is very weak and gives no response. Later, he sits in a bar where Len joins him. They start a game of chess. Len asks about Kath, and Harry admits her condition is getting worse and that she might not even know he visits. Len, however, believes she does. Nearby, a few addicts trade drugs in the shop. Annoyed, Len complains that things are getting worse, but Harry seems unconcerned. At night, Harry hears a loud banging noise. He looks out the window and sees a group of thugs smashing a car. When the owner rushes out to protect it, they beat him badly. Around midnight, Harry gets a phone call. His face changes from drowsy to shocked. He immediately runs out into the rain and heads to the hospital. There, Harry is crushed by the news that his wife has passed away, and he breaks down in tears. Soon after, the scene shifts to him, laying flowers for the woman he loved. Len arrives and brings him to their usual bar, where they sit down to play chess. As they play, Harry recalls his days in the Marine Corps and shares how a fellow soldier named Bob had helped him meet his wife. Harry recalls a night when he and his wife danced together until morning. Len then points out that Harry has never spoken about his time in the Marine Corps and bluntly asks if he ever killed anyone. Harry avoids a direct answer, saying it's not a question one should ask. Len quickly apologizes, and Harry explains that he left the Marines long ago, around the time he first met his wife in a men's restroom. Len then admits he is afraid of the people in their neighborhood, describing them as savages. He reveals that they have spat in his face and even shoved dog feces into his mailbox. Frustrated and on edge, Len pulls out a knife, declaring he's had enough of being pushed around. Harry stops Len, telling him not to go through with it. Frustrated that Harry doesn't understand, Len storms off into the night. Later, someone throws a burning object into his home, filling it with thick smoke. Len rushes to the front door, puts out the fire, coughs violently, and shouts curses at those responsible. The next morning, 2 police officers arrive at Harry's house. They come in with a serious look and ask to sit down. During the talk, Harry learns that Len was involved in a serious incident the night before. The police broke the news that Len had died. Harry was shocked, unable to grasp how it could have happened. They explained that Len had been attacked and later found on a deserted street. Harry told them that only the day before, he and Len had played chess, and Len had complained about some kids, though he never mentioned names. After the conversation, the officers left, and Harry broke down in tears over the loss of his friend. One of the officers, Alice, had recently transferred to the area. When her partner asked why she had taken this assignment, she stayed silent, giving no answer. Later, Alice and her partner went to the home of a young man named Noel with a search warrant. Noel, who looked like an addict, immediately insulted Alice. The officers arrested him on suspicion of murder. His mother broke down crying and screamed, so Noel asked to speak with her to calm her. When Alice agreed, he told his mother to call his uncle for legal help. Along with Noelle, Alice and her partner also arrested 4 other thugs suspected of being involved in the murder. When questioned, the men refused to cooperate and even pretended not to know who Len was. Among the suspects, Mark looked nervous but denied it when Alice questioned him. Dean, obviously high, also refused to cooperate. Carl was defiant, asking where the police had been when his brother died and showing no concern for what they thought. Annoyed by his attitude, Alice kept pressing, asking if that was why Carl killed Len. Was he defending himself, or was Len the one who attacked first? Carl became restless and refused to answer any questions. Noelle also refused to cooperate, insisting he should be released if there was no evidence. Mark, the weakest of the group, looked frightened. He said he had grown up in an orphanage and had been abused there, but later admitted it was a lie to gain sympathy. Noelle was the most disrespectful, making crude remarks to Alice about hormones, describing how he would treat her, and claiming she would enjoy it. Alice did not get angry. Instead, she pointed out that Noelle was slowly losing control in the interrogation room. Still, he kept showing disrespect and even mocked the photos of Len. The scene then shifts to Harry at a cemetery with Len, before cutting to a bar where a woman sings while Harry drinks alone. The bartender asks if he's had enough, noting he has been there for a long time. Harry decides to pay, pulls out his wallet, and a woman notices the large amount of money inside. After leaving the bar, Harry walked under a bridge where a drug addict confronted him and tried to rob him. The man threatened him, but when he lunged, Harry quickly pulled out a knife and stabbed him. Harry then walked away and went home. There, he removed his blood-stained clothes, took a shower, and went to bed. Lying down, he glanced to the side, lost in memories of his wife. The next morning, Alice came to visit, and Harry invited her inside. As she entered, she noticed a photograph and realized that Harry had once served in the Marine Corps. Alice noticed a chessboard, and Harry eagerly explained that he was learning to play. He spoke with excitement before realizing he had drifted off topic. Alice then revealed the reason for her visit. They had found the murder weapon. It was a military-grade weapon that belonged to Len, with his fingerprints all over it. Harry quickly said he already knew about it, explaining that the weapon had been passed down from Len's father. Alice told him the problem was that the court would see the case as self-defense, which meant the kids involved would not face any charges. Shaken by the news of the murder, Harry grew quiet and asked Alice to leave. She assured him she would keep him updated. Later, Harry opened an old memory box. Inside, he found a knitted note that said, "I love you," likely from his wife, along with an old knife. Leaving them behind, he went to Len's house, which had been destroyed by fire. The walls were in ruins, and the windows were shattered. Inside, Harry discovered an old photograph of Len and his wife. From Len's window, Harry saw the old tunnel where the Donkey Group was exchanging small white packets. Soon after, a couple walked by and was attacked. The woman was assaulted, and her boyfriend was beaten when he tried to protect her. The couple eventually escaped. That night, Harry followed one of the thugs to his house, knocked on the door, and said he wanted to do business. As soon as Harry entered the house, Stretch pointed a gun at him, but the drug addict with him stepped in to calm the situation. Harry said he wanted to buy a gun, making up a story about using it to shoot pigeons from his rooftop. Stretch left the room, and Harry quietly followed him into another space that looked like a small farm. He then moved into the next room, where Stretch was watching a TV showing a drugged-out woman and clapping in excitement. Harry felt uneasy watching the video and saw a young woman lying unconscious on the couch. Stretch suggested that she could be used for money. While they waited in silence, another man entered carrying a bag full of guns. He pulled out each one and explained it in detail. Concerned about the woman, Harry thought they should take her to a hospital or at least call an ambulance. Stretch refused to help and pointed a gun at Harry, ordering him to pick up the weapon and leave before getting hurt. At that moment, the woman started coughing, and Harry used the distraction to compliment her. He then quickly stabbed Stretch in the arm and grabbed his gun. Stretch aimed at Harry and pulled the trigger, but the weapon was empty. Harry shot the other man and fired several rounds at Stretch. When Stretch tried to run, Harry chased him down and found him collapsed, mocking him for not keeping his gun ready. Harry remembered a soldier who had died in a similar way before he shot the attacker. He carried the woman outside, placed her in his car, collected all the weapons he could find, and set the house on fire. After taking her to the hospital and leaving some cash for her, he drove off with his horn blaring. Meanwhile, at her office, Alice was told that her investigation was moving too slowly. Her boss warned that from now on, any activity or crime involving firearms would not be tolerated. Harry went to a church and left all his money there. Meanwhile, Alice visited the girl, puzzled about why someone would kill 2 drug dealers just to rescue a woman in the middle of the night. Through a broken window, Harry kept watch on a tunnel. He saw a man approach Noel, demand money, and threaten him, then call Mark over. When Mark struck the man on the head, Harry shot him dead. Shaken, Mark went with Harry to Len's house. There, Harry tied him up and questioned him about Len. When Mark insisted he knew nothing and refused to cooperate, Harry whipped and tortured him. Harry pulled out his gun and threatened to blow out both of Mark's kneecaps. Under the pressure, Mark confessed that an old man had come to threaten him and his friends, and that one of them had slapped Len. Harry doubted him, but Mark insisted he had proof on his phone. Taking the phone, Harry watched a video of his best friend being brutally murdered by a gang. Consumed by rage, he demanded to know who had stabbed Len. The scene shifts to Noel kissing and flirting with a woman, surrounded by other couples under the tunnel. Suddenly, he sees Carl limping toward them, crying and warning about a man with a gun. A group of thugs draws their weapons and moves in on Mark, but one of them panics and fires wildly, accidentally hitting him. From the other side, Harry intervenes and takes out both Mark and the gunman. Noel runs and Harry gives chase, but an asthma attack overwhelms him and he collapses. Just before losing consciousness, he throws his gun into the river. Harry woke up in the hospital to find Alice and her team at his bedside. They asked if he had seen anything unusual near the tunnel, but a nurse quickly stepped in and sent them away. Later, Alice and her team investigated the area where Harry had been. Convinced he was involved in the recent events, she asked her superior for permission to track and investigate him. Her superior refused, but Alice stayed firm in her suspicions. Later, Alice's superior told her she had been promoted and suggested she take the weekend off. That night, police raided a building, arresting dozens of addicts. Some fought back while others tried to escape but were quickly caught. Meanwhile, Harry woke up in the hospital, pulled out his IV and slipped away as chaos spread through the streets. Alice told her partner that Harry had left the hospital and was probably going after Noel. Her partner warned that, even if Harry meant well, Noel was still a serious threat. Even so, Harry decided to go. During the drive, a rioter threw paint at their windshield, causing the car to swerve and crash into another vehicle. Alice's partner was seriously injured. At that moment, Harry appeared, pulled them both to safety, and took them to a nearby bar. Sid, the bartender, immediately called for an ambulance. Through tears, Alice asked Harry where all this would end and revealed that Sid was Noel's uncle, warning that Sid would seek revenge if Noel were killed. Hearing this, Harry went down to the basement and aimed his gun at Sid. Harry confronted Sid, demanding answers. Sid tried to protect Noel, even calling him, but Harry showed him a video recorded by Mark that proved Noel's guilt. Sid still insisted that Harry couldn't kill him. Suddenly, Harry began struggling to breathe, his strength fading. Seizing the opportunity, Sid grabbed Harry's gun and shot him. Upstairs, Alice cried for help but was overpowered by Noel, who assaulted and mocked her. Furious that Noel wasn't safe, Sid ordered him to kill everyone and dump their bodies in the street as a show of power. Following the order, Noel murdered Alice's partner, then grabbed Alice by the throat, forcing her to look him in the eyes. Just as Noel was about to kill Alice, Harry pulled a hidden pistol and shot him in the neck. Seconds later, Sid fired back, hitting Harry in the shoulder. Alice gasped as Sid moved in to finish him, but 2 laser sights from the backup team she had called locked onto Sid's chest. Before he could fire, Sid was gunned down. Later, Alice attended a meeting where her superior explained that no one had confessed and no evidence was found, so Harry would not face any charges. Meanwhile, Harry walked toward the tunnel, now calm and glowing with a bright white light. As he stepped inside, it was clear that his struggle had finally brought peace to the place.